Well, I'm out on the track here at Musselburgh with the clerk of the course, Harriet Graham. And Harriet, we're going to look at one of the most recognisable parts of the course. It's this AllWeather Bend that you've installed. Tell us why you installed it and how well has it been received?
Hi Gordon, this is a fantastic, it's our fibre sand bend. It's been an absolute godsend to us here, and I think we've had it in for 3 years. This is the 3rd season, and it's meant that we can manage this bend. It used to be a nightmare because we were trying to move rails constantly, so we've got a constant bend that rides really well. The jockeys enjoy it, the horses are not trying to step over bits of mud and stuff, and it's just made such a difference to all of us.
Looking at it, it is proper, the stuff that's at Southall Racecourse.
It's Southall Racecourse, yeah.
And
obviously we don't jump on it, but it's helped us immensely, as you can see. Like here, this is like it is all the time.
Yeah.
We don't have to keep moving rails, and the jockeys just, when you look at it, they used to ride this bend really defensively. Now they just kick on, and on they go round it.
I'm imagining this didn't come cheap.
No, it's quite expensive, 150,000 I think, but I mean Musselburgh's always investing in, if it needs doing at Musselburgh, the feeling is that we must find a way to do it because it's all about horse welfare and all the rest of it.
So this area became really poached before you put this down?
Really poached, yeah. I mean it would track all the time, and it's not very wide.
No.
You have to have the course at 10 metres minimum, so we were trying to move rails out and then we'd use ground and having to go back on it again. And our whole thing is to try and give a little bit of fresh ground each time. And we're always very aware of our big meeting in February that we're trying to keep it right. Whereas this now, we don't have to think about it. We know it's here. It's always standard. We obviously can be watered. It can, you know, we can keep it a constant surface.
Okay. Well, it goes right round to the back straight, does it?
It goes right around. It's about a furlong, right round to the back straight, and they come off it. And we were worried when we started that horses might jump onto it, etc.
Yeah, but no.
But they're used to going over sand crossings on all race courses, and they're used to working on this at home now. So you don't. Luckily, nothing. We haven't had any issues with it.
Well, listen, you mentioned back straight. Let's head round there now.
Let's go round there. Yeah.
Well, here we are at the bend towards the back straight at the 2.5 mile start, Harriet. And what sort of layout have you got at Musselburgh? I mean, before we talk about fences and hurdles, how big's the circuit?
We're 1 mile 2 furlongs circuit from the complete circuit. We have 4 fences down the back and 4 fences up the home straight usually, and 3 hurdles on each straight. And so all fences are done on the straights, and so are the hurdles. So it's quite a simple layout, 2 bends and 2 straights basically. We're quite near the sea, but that is actually quite good for us because we don't tend to get the frost because there's a bit of salt in the air, and a mile away can be frozen and we'll still be raceable on, which is fantastic.
Okay, well I can see some ground staff there just putting up the hurdles and fences. Let's go and have a word
busy
with
as
them.
Ever.
Yeah, always. Well, I've come round to the first fence in the back straight, and this is the head groundsman at Musselburgh, Mark Bemrose, just attending to this fence. Mark, how much attention do the fences and the hurdles here at Musselburgh require? And I know that these are portable fences.
Being portable is a good thing this time of year. We've just moved the fences from the ground over there and pulled them onto a fresh strip of turf. They take a lot of looking after really, the birch, pushing it back in.
How many guys have you got helping you? What's the ground staff numbers like?
There's myself and there's 4 full-time members of grounds team. 2 permanently on the chase fences and the other 2 maintain the hurdles.
Yeah, and the ground itself, I mean, given the wet weather we've had, what sort of maintenance have you had? I mean, extra maintenance, extra problems?
Extra maintenance. We've got a good squad of 20 casuals and they come divot busting. Luckily the mild weather, we've been able to put seed in it. It's a bit of germination with the milder weather, but it's just the wet weather that's a disaster.
And the one task that I don't envy you is that obviously you've got flat and jumping here and you do move rails. There's a lot of rail movement.
Well, just over there is a flat track which we share with the National Hunt Course. So we try and this time of year get them across as far as we can.
So the flat track on the outside, the jumping in the middle. The fences being portable will help because if they were stuck in the same spot you would get a lot more poaching, wouldn't you?
Yeah, the take-off area, as you can see, what we've moved on to is complete fresh ground that we've saved specifically for the Cheltenham Trials Day.
Yeah.
If you look just at the other side there, this area
See
here,
that?
there's a takeoff that we've had from November, and
Yeah.
it's just going into a...
Yeah. And can you alter the width of the fences, or is that as wide as they get?
These are 36 foot wide on the back straight.
I've been rejoined out in the track again by Harriet Graham at one of the most unique parts of the track, Harriet. The bend take you from the back straight into the home straight. There's a fair old camber here. On the inside we've got the hurdle track, on the outside the chase course.
This was done a few years ago and there's a good camber. This helps the horses get round this bend. As you can see down here how far up this has come, which has helped no end.
It's a big drop.
Yeah, real drop, yeah. Yeah, and incorporating the golf course as well. And I mean, this bend is something else that we want to make further improvements in the future and make it a lot wider, so we've got many more options on it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works really well at the moment, especially with the hurdlers being on the inside, chasers up here.
Well, we're now at the 5 furlong start on the flat, but for jumps purposes, Harriet, it's 1 mile, 7.5 furlongs. Tell me more.
Well, it's our 2 mile start, but since it's all been remeasured, we have to be exact now. So it's 1 mile 7 and 124 yards, I think, and also our 3 mile 2 start. Obviously, we can't move the start back because we'd be on the golf tee and in the pub car park.
Yeah.
So we've just had to go a bit less than the 2 miles, but. Yeah, it's the same start as it always was.
Yeah, and just pointing that as the end. We can't go any further back than
Can't
that
go
because
no
it's a golf
further.
course and it's a tee or a green back there.
That's a tee, and then that's sadly the closed pub now, which we obviously can't move any further back.
Yeah.
But it's a lovely start. There's a fantastic straight up there for them.
A nice run as well for flat purposes, and you can see in the distance the obstacles in the home straight.
Yep.
Looks nice ground down here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's held up really well. We have had this bend further in, this rail further in, and we've just moved it out again, so it's nice and wide, protecting our flat track.
But it's
for
not
Good
a start
Friday.
that can be moved.
No, we're not going to move this start. We can't move it.
Well, Harriet and I have come to the second last fence normally.
yes.
Harriet, this is now the last fence. Tell us why you've no final fence in its usual position at Musselburgh.
I mean, this season we've only got 3 up the home straight because we've been put in a new flat band round, so we've had to use a little bit of turf. We're a bit tight for space, so got permission from the BHA that we'd run the whole season with just 3 fences up the home straight. This one's moved slightly nearer to the grandstand, but there's still a long run in. Normally we'd have another fence between here and the finish.
I think we've about a furlong and a half run in at the moment,
Yes,
haven't we?
yeah, that's
and it's
correct.
because of remedial work on the home straight on the flat course.
Yeah, a total new bend on the flat course, recambered bend, not quite to the extent that we've done down at the bottom, but it's just to help the flat horses. So we've just had to protect that bit of turf while the grass grows through the winter, hence a little bit less room than normal. So we've taken out the last fence.
Yeah, been terrific looking round, Harry. All the very best for the rest of the season. Let's make it back in.
Yeah, thank you, Gordon.